And now that federal assistance is on the way to help New York manage the migrant crisis, Governor Kathy Hochul says every option is on the table when it comes to speeding up work authorization for thousands of asylum seekers.
So here are the latest numbers right here on the migrant crisis based on a briefing from the mayor's office yesterday. More than 113,000 migrants have come through the New York intake center since last spring. Last week alone, 3,200 asylum seekers arrived in New York City. A little over 200 sites have been open, including 16 humanitarian relief centers.
So the federal support comes just in the nick of time. During an interview that Dan did with Mayor Adams last Thursday, he proposed massive cuts and even floated the idea of placing migrant families in congregant settings.
And that didn't go over well with Quinn, former city council speaker and the current executive director of Quinn, the largest provider of supportive services for women and children experiencing homelessness. And Ms. Quinn is joining us now. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Let's begin with those comments first, right? Because you put out a statement pretty much right away about that congregant setting comment. Tell me your thoughts and why you're so against that.
Well, congregate, you think of, and what it is a big auditorium with rows and rows of cots. There couldn't be a place that is less appropriate for children than that. This whole situation is traumatic. These children have been through so much. And then to put them in a situation which may very well be dangerous and is totally inappropriate, we cannot let that happen. Now, I'm sympathetic to the mayor, right? He has a problem he never could have anticipated, and it is a massive amount to deal with. But I believe there are other solutions that prevent us from doing that. And there's also state regulation prohibiting that.
Yeah.
So I don't believe, we won't let it happen is the bottom line.
So the shelters would possibly be a better scenario for them. And now HUD is providing these 14,000 housing vouchers to clear the shelters so that, you know, those that are in there already have a place to stay. But how soon do you think that this can happen?
Well, you know, it's interesting because there are challenges separate and apart from the asylum seekers about how quickly the city's Department of Homeless Services processes vouchers of any kind. But just this week, we met with the deputy mayor and the commissioner to talk about how to streamline that process. If we can streamline that process, we can get people out of shelter sooner, and then the asylum seekers can come and take those spots as we work and push to get it so they are eligible for vouchers. Because one of the problems is there's nowhere for these asylum seekers to go. Because they're undocumented, they're prohibited from getting the city vouchers. We want to change that.
Yeah, I think what this has highlighted, this whole crisis, is the kind of bureaucracy in so much of this, right? There's the vouchers, there's funding, there's work authorizations. And so when you look at the work authorizations, that's a big problem. And so now there's this push to have it done on the state level, right? Allow them on the state level to get work authorizations rather than the feds. Do you support that?
I do. I mean, I didn't know that it was possible because what I had heard was that it was all federal, and not even the president, Congress, which makes it, you know, impossible in reality. So if we can do this on the state level, that's terrific, and I applaud the governor for finding a mechanism.
Yeah.
But we're talking now $100 million in funding to help with the migrant crisis. But that's really, I mean, it's a drop in the bucket when the mayor is saying it's costing us billions of dollars.
A couple of things. I mean, it's a good drop in the bucket. It's a big drop.
Yes.
And we're very grateful for it. Do we need more? Yes. I mean, last year alone, Quinn, just one agency, we were over $1 million over budget because of the complicated needs of asylum seekers. So we need more, and we really need more for legal representation so these folks can get asylum or whatever other status they can get. Now, one of the things that we've said to the city is if you give housing vouchers to asylum seekers, you not only can do the right humanitarian thing, you can save $3 billion. It costs $383 a night to be in a welfare hotel. That's where most of these folks are. It costs $72 a night to be in a permanent affordable housing. Let's do that. Cuts the cost significantly.
So, I've had this conversation with you months ago, right? About this very number that you're throwing out there. So you just met with City Hall. What did they say about it?
You know, I've said, just coincidentally, 2 days in a row, meetings with two deputy mayors. And they we're open to everything we suggested. They didn't say yes to everything, but I know they are looking to try to figure out how to get more housing options.
Let me ask you this, because the comments were made of destroying New York City. There's been a bit of a doom and gloom scenario. What did you make of the mayor's comments?
Look, nothing can destroy New York City. I mean, that's just ridiculous. And we know that these individuals who are incredibly brave and heroic, who are fleeing violence and poverty that we can't even understand as Americans, they are certainly not going to destroy this city. I think the mayor was probably frustrated. It's a vexing situation. And I think he said something that I bet if we asked him, in hindsight, he regrets.
But how much does this funding help the women and children in your organization?
It helps. It definitely helps. It definitely helps get people out of shelter, those who've been there before this crisis, and then those who are part of the asylum seekers. It will make a difference, but it is not the answer.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you want to be mayor of New York City?
Well, I clearly had wanted to be mayor,
Yes.
but I have other people had other ideas. I don't have any plans to run for mayor.
Ever?
At this time.
At this time.
I mean, I'm not running against Mayor Adams. I don't want to cause a tizzy out there,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
I'm not running against Mayor Adams. But, will I ever run for mayor or something else? A girl should never say never in the city of New York.
That's the politics guy in me is coming in. Ms. Quinn, great having you here.
Thank you.